people usually say that you require a skill set to start a startup and you need to do a market research and everything. What is your strategy?
Well, yes, Mark, when I say very simple thing, my simple strategy is if you look at your solution and ask yourself, is it solving a real world problem?
Right.
If it is, go back it. Otherwise, it's going to be one of so many,
Right.
right? And unless you have money to burn, don't do it. Okay. So
Right.
first is find a solution initial to solve the real world problem. Whatever the problem in the real world are, we need to solve them first. People are looking at real world solve. Can I make a call with this? That's the problem. Yes, I can make a call. I don't want to know the technology behind it.
Right. Hello everyone, my name is Panisha Puri. Welcome to our channel Zaful, and today we have with us Mr. Raj Kapoor, who is the founder of India Blockchain Alliance, the largest Indian emerging technology tech think tank and an advisory board member at over 20 blockchain companies, and is also a TEDx speaker. Let's find out more about his journey. Welcome to our channel. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, if you're telling me or you're telling the channel, I'm fine. I don't know about the channel. I'm sure everybody's fine after such a lot of holidays. I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Before we talk about your journey and about your challenges and everything about you, about your TEDx experience, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, what you are doing currently.
Well, as you know, my name is Raj Kapoor, and I'm the founder of the India Blockchain Alliance, which now becomes the largest think tank in the blockchain space in this subcontinent, if not in Asia. I think now it's very soon in Asia as well.
Yes.
Maybe it's in Asia already. Anyways, the idea of this was basically bring in adoption of a new technology. Blockchain is a new technology. A
Right.
lot of people are confused about it. Most of them think it's Bitcoin, which is clearly is not,
Right.
and it's just Bitcoin is one small part of a blockchain.
Right.
It's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of information asymmetry. There are not too many people who understand the subject. So the idea of India Blockchain Alliance was to make people understand that this technology is going to be the technology for the future.
Right.
And to understand the technology of the future, there has to be somebody or some people who have to evangelize it, who have to talk about it in the right way, not in the way a lot of people suddenly become experts all of a sudden. So we have a lot of deep dive expertise, and therefore we said let's try and bring that. We are not for profit, but the idea is to bring around more validation, adoption, and making people aware of the phenomena which we call blockchain.
When was the time you decided that you would like to create this sort of thing, and what was the idea behind that?
Well, actually, the story goes back a little around 2010.
Okay.
Now, 2010, blockchain was hardly anybody knew about it.
Right.
Everybody knew Bitcoin. Bitcoin came in 2008 and 9. 8, it was, 31st October is his birthday, but the first transaction, the first block was created in 2009, Jan.
Right.
I was very fortunate by accident. I stumbled onto it somewhere in 2010, December 2010.
Okay.
Now, that's a very early adoption of a technology. I did it by accident, but I stayed back by design. But I understood one thing. While I was a Bitcoin miner, I used to mine in the United States. Not of course illegal in India, but in the US it was perfectly okay. So I used to do Bitcoin mining, and that really got me into the spaces, understanding the technology more than the mining. I enjoyed the understanding of how the technology works. It's
Right.
a different thing. We made money on the Bitcoin as well.
Right.
But bottom line is the technology fascinated me. Tried to bring it in India in 2014, 15. I failed completely because nobody understood what I'm talking about. Once again, I brought it again in 16, 17. Again, it failed. No problem. But by that time, Bitcoin had started going up
Right.
a lot. And then people
Right.
started asking me only about Bitcoin.
Right.
So in 2018, I set up, I said, whether people understand me or not, if nobody else is partnering with me or going along with me, I'll set it up myself. And in 2018, we set up the India Blockchain Alliance with the core idea, which I told you, to bring about awareness. And then, well, long story short, from that time, 2018 to 22, our journey has been nothing short of phenomenal. We work now with more than 200 universities across the country, universities and colleges, helping the students understand what is blockchain, Web3, NFT, metaverse, all words which were not even there
Right.
a year and a half back, and making a resource pool of very strong developers and professionals in the blockchain space so that people Now, when we become the blockchain capital of the world, which
Right.
is exactly what I really wanted, I want India to be the Web3 capital, the blockchain capital, where
Right.
people come, like they used to come to Nalandas. In short, the Nalanda of blockchain is what we want to create. So that's one. I also work with a lot of young startups because a lot of youngsters have great ideas,
Right.
but very little direction sometimes, or less knowledge about the technology.
Right.
So I step in there and do a lot of work with youngsters and other aspiring startups. And today, on a personal front, I probably advise more than 50 startups globally.
Great.
So that's probably the highest number anywhere because
Yeah.
I have done a lot of good work with them, right from the product to the marketing to getting them funds, whatever they need, basically.
Right.
I also help a lot of corporates work with them from a strategic perspective of where they need blockchain, if they need blockchain, why they need blockchain, the ROI, so on and so forth. They have a lot of questions. They
Right.
want to implement it, but they don't know how. Will it disrupt their systems? Will they have to replace old
Right.
systems? How will it integrate? So there are a lot of questions, a lot of gray areas. So I try and make the gray black and white. So
Right.
that's the thing. I also work, finally, I work with the government of India on multiple places.
Great.
12 different states. I'm working on projects along with partners. And on a personal basis, also an advisor to the government of India on the crypto policy as well.
So you were determined that you would like to make this global. That was your reason to, create this sort of thing initially. What were the major challenges?
Major challenges in India, the major challenges is nobody wants to understand new
Right.
technology when it doesn't benefit them. Bitcoin, they want to understand, but
Yeah.
blockchain, it's too difficult right now. So one of the challenges was making people aware that there is a great technology and we must leverage it across sectors, not just think of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one use case of hundreds of use cases in the blockchain space.
Right.
That was the biggest challenge. The second biggest challenge was there was no education around it. So even if I speak about blockchain, how do people follow up?
Right.
I may have spoken for 1 hour today or half an hour or whatever. What next?
Right.
How do I learn further? Where are the resources? So
Right.
I started working on a little resources also. That's the second challenge I faced. The third challenge I faced is in India, nobody wants to pay money for getting educated.
Right.
They say, oh, we are going to college anyways.
Right.
Well, I said, okay, that's fine. If colleges could give you all jobs, well, we wouldn't have a problem of unemployment in our country.
So
80%, almost 80% of our engineers are unemployed.
right.
Very sad story. The unemployment is the highest right now.
Right. Right.
If colleges and educational institutions could fulfill that gap, there would not be any need for anything else. So that was the third challenge, to make the people understand that you've got to pay a little money for a program so that you can get a specialization. Fourth, working with universities and colleges, good experience, but again, same problem.
True.
Lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. Why should I put blockchain, or why we have a center of excellence in something
Right.
else? Well, that's fine. There are different technologies, all have different applications.
Right.
Blockchain is going to be all prevailing over the next few years.
Right.
It's a decentralized technology, the safest form of technology. So it's
Right.
going to be there. And it works with AI, it works with cloud, it works with cybersecurity,
Right.
it works with all technologies. It does not replace them, it includes them,
Yes.
and therefore becomes an umbrella technology. So an umbrella technology is even more vital than the other technologies. And the way they work in tandem is really important.
Major challenge for any startup is to create awareness and to make people understand that you need this technology.
Yes.
So how you spread this
Yes.
awareness?
Well, I do a lot of personally, I do a lot of events. I speak at many universities, colleges. I don't charge them anything. I say, you be aware and then decide whether you want to sit down and do
Right.
something more. I try and offer whatever I can, free resources wherever I can. I work with startups to make them understand where they need the blockchain application and where they don't need applications, thereby reducing their costs, increasing efficiencies, and making a better ROI for themselves and their better valuation. Help them with MVP. So again, awareness is created by speaking continuously. And I'm not talking about only tier one. Tier
Right.
one still has access to information.
Right.
Tier two and tier three is where I really focus on sometimes, because we have a lot of talent,
Right.
but they don't have a direction, or where do they look for?
Right.
Where's the North Star? Where's the guiding star? So a lot of work I do in tier two, tier three. In fact, my Telegram has got 32,000 students approximately, where I do a lot of programs on Telegram for them, just free of charge, mostly just creating awareness. That's more important. And I keep
So
sharing
you,
resources.
you also use social media as your medium to spread awareness.
I do it mostly on LinkedIn personally. My team members do it from maybe other platforms. I'm a LinkedIn fan.
Right.
Yes, I do it. So if somebody follows my page, basically, there is a lot of information they can keep getting from day to day. Every day, there is some new information or new news. I also have, if you join me on WhatsApp, then I basically help all of them in whatever they need. If they need free books, I can share free books, free resources, also good paid ones, also which have value. I help them with guidance, creating a career path in blockchain, understanding the different careers in blockchain.
Right.
So all that, even for startups, how to get started with a blockchain-based startup, and what are the challenges you'll face, and how you have to mitigate them. So yes, awareness, talking. In
Right.
fact, this year I think I've done about 147 different webinars and seminars and in live person, including TEDx. I am a TEDx speaker, and more than one, two TEDx's I've done, and one I'm doing again in the month of Jan in Bombay.
Right.
So yes, I speak at multiple events, multiple platforms as a not-for-profit. Again,
Right.
profit is the secondary matter. The first is awareness. You will not make profits if you're not aware of things.
So, what was your biggest fear? Is there any time you thought like this technology is new for Indians and maybe they'll not able to adapt it? So, is there any fear back in your mind that whether this will work or not?
No, I never had any fear. I was very convinced right from the time I started my journey. 2010, I started my journey. If somebody starts a journey in 2010 and sticks to it for the next 12 years,
Right, true.
it's a faith in your own abilities
Right.
and the technology. More important, the technology. The technology is the the bigger picture here. We have faith. If you have faith and if you have the passion,
Right.
there's nothing. There is no fear. There is no place for fear in anything. If you're doing anything, there is no place for fear.
If we are determined to do something, nothing can stop us from doing.
Absolutely. Look at
Yeah.
me. See, a lot of people associate startups with 20-year-old kids, 25-year-old kids.
Right.
I started my blockchain journey at the age of 48, 49. I'm
Right.
now 60 years old. So at 60, I am more successful than all young startups, not
Right.
because of anything else, because I stuck to my work. I did not give up. I told you, I tried 3 times to come to India and failed all 3 times. Then I said, forget it, I'll do it on my own. I won't partner with anybody. I'll do it on my own. The determination never went away. The passion never went away. And I come from a non-tech background.
Right.
I come from a non-tech background, and I teach the
Okay.
technology of blockchain, which is one of the most complicated technologies. And I learned it all after 2010.
Let's talk
I'm an
about something about your graduation days then, because I
Yeah, well,
wanted to know more about your background.
yes. My background, basically, I did my BCom from Bombay University, and then I did my MBA also from Sumaya's Bombay University.
Okay.
I never liked science. I never liked mathematics. I never liked anything which was remotely for thought processes. But yeah, I was a decent student.
Okay.
And but when I got introduced to blockchain, Bitcoin first, I realized that there's a great technology, and the Bitcoin and blockchain, the entire blockchain industry is based on mathematics,
Right.
which is not my forte. Which is
Yeah.
not my forte. I used to just hope I'll pass in mathematics. But I went back and reset. Okay, let me not put the blinkers on. Let me keep it wide open and think, guys, can I do it? Yes, because everything is nothing but logic.
Okay.
1 plus 2 will always be 3. It cannot be anything else. So I started using logic and started learning not only mathematics, but I can today program in 14 languages. I worked on all the blockchains, all the popular blockchains. I have created 4 blockchains.
Oh, great.
It all comes from a person who never had technology.
Right.
And in our time, there was not even a computer when we finished our
Right.
graduation. When we finished in the 80s, where was the computer? Nothing, right? So if you have, and today you have all the information. You've got the net, you've got computers, you've got systems, you've got bandwidth, you've got everything. All the tools are with you.
Right.
So use the tools effectively, wisely. We
Right.
never had them, so we made our own tools. You have the
Oh,
tools, use them.
what are your resources at that time?
Well, for example, when I wanted to start off understanding what is blockchain, I first downloaded the first blockchain Bitcoin white paper.
Okay.
Okay. I read the ninth paper. Then there were references given at the end of the paper. I downloaded those references
Okay.
and the references of those references. And
Okay.
in 3 months, I mastered that part. But there was no other courses.
Right.
That was one. Secondly, I networked with people who knew a little bit about blockchain and Bitcoin.
Right.
I started networking with them, trying to reach out to them, speaking through LinkedIn, through other sources, personal resources. They all contributed. I worked with community because blockchain is all about community. I worked with the
Right.
blockchain community.
Okay.
There was an Ethereum community. There was a Hyperledger community coming up that time. And now there are many. I joined all the communities
Right.
wherever, and the communities really help. If you don't understand something, you ask a question, you will get a lot of answers.
Right.
Was my learning. So when I said what I learned in college is zero
Zero.
compared to what I learned
Mhm.
after the age of 48, right? So in the 12 years from 48 till now, it has
Right.
been a journey of learning, and I learn even today.
Right.
Today, I learn about the NFT, the meta. I'm learning about everything. Yes, because learning never finishes.
True.
If every one of us thinks the learning is going to get over the minute we are out of college, you're wrong. Your learning never finishes. Keep learning.
Right. People usually say that you require a skill set to start a startup. What is your strategy?
Well, yes, Mark, when I say very simple thing, my simple strategy is if you look at your solution and ask yourself, is it solving a real world problem?
Right.
If it is, go back it. Otherwise, it's going to be one of so many,
Right.
right? And unless you have money to burn, don't do it. Okay. So
Right.
first is find a solution initial to solve the real world problem. Whatever the problem in the real world are, we need to solve them first. People are looking at real world solve. Can I make a call with this? That's the problem. Yes, I can make a call. I don't want to know the technology behind it.
Right.
Can I
True.
make a call? I'll make a call. So
Right.
I need to know, make it simple. Keep it very simple. Don't complicate your product. Second, don't follow the charts. We read all sorts of charts, this Pareto principle, bell curve, blah, blah. All that's good, right? Theory. Follow your heart. Don't follow the chart. I always give that advice. Follow your heart, never the charts.
Right.
And third, learn to swim before you jump into the deep blue sea.
True.
A lot of people think, oh, my idea is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Nothing better. It's
Right.
going to be this phenomenon. It's going to be a big unicorn, blah, blah. Everybody thinks it's a unicorn.
Yes.
But 90% startups die. And they
Right.
die not because of lack of ideation, but because of lack of preparation.
Right.
Learn to really take, there's a saying which says when you want to cut a tree, you spend 95% of the time sharpening your axe.
Right.
Means pre-preparation, and
It's
then you chop
important.
the tree.
Yeah.
Now, pre-preparation has to be really solid. You got to tick all the boxes because put yourself on the other side, and you have to question yourself, and hard questions, and no glossing over answers.
Right.
Hard questions will always get you the right answers. So yeah, as I said, don't follow the charts, guys. That's fun in school.
To do a startup, it also require a team. So how you build your team?
A team. Well, you'll have to find people who think like you and who don't think I need money. If you don't have give me money, I'm not. You have to find the same people with the same passion.
Right.
The string or the chain that connects you should be passion, a common vision, a common mission, a common aim.
Right.
It's only that remains a team. Otherwise, people will come, decide, okay, it's not for me, and go off.
Right.
Your team has to be exactly that. For example, my team, we were three of us.
Okay.
We are with each other since 1998. So 1998 till now, we haven't gone. The team is the same.
Okay.
The core team is the same. It's the passion of India. When we started, before India Blockchain Alliance, we had another company, but with the same team continues.
Right.
It has not changed one bit. More people have come in, but the three founders never change.
Right.
That's the same.
So collaboration and trust is very important to create a team. A core team is very important.
You got to trust your partner. Yeah, you got to trust your partner. Just like in marriage, you trust your partner. You don't know who she is till you marry her. Then, and she doesn't know who you are when she marries you. So you both got to give each other, be empathetic, earn the trust.
Right.
And then when you work in sync, in tandem, success comes. You think in different ways, and you have too much, and get rid of your ego.
Right.
The ego, put in the dustbin. No
Right.
place for startups. No place for anything in life for that matter.
Right, right. Talking about one particular skill that is called leadership, how you develop that leadership skill in you.
Leadership is all about caring for your people. Leadership is about bringing them all up together. It's not about your own self. I'm the greatest. I know this. I may know the maximum, but I'm not a good leader if I can't inspire my team to do that along with me. He has to be inspirational. He has to lead by example, and he cannot you cannot be an armchair leader anymore.
Right.
You got to roll up your sleeves and work with everybody, work along with everybody, and take the team together. That's one part of the leadership. The second thing is a leader has empathy, not sympathy.
Right.
He thinks for others. He tries to work out their solutions as well. He also is a constant learner. A leader has to be a constant learner. You cannot say, oh, I know everything. I am still learning. Right? We are all leaders or not, but the learning process never stops in leadership.
Right.
And the ego has to always go. There is no scope for ego in leadership.
If you talk about you are a TEDx speaker, tell our viewers a little bit about how you develop that confidence to speak to communities.
Two things happen. One, when you speak to any audience,
Right,
close your eyes for a minute and think there is no audience in front of you first. And then you speak from your heart. If
right,
you practice too much and speak, it won't work. See, today you and I are speaking, we're having a conversation,
right,
right? Even the audience wants a conversation.
right,
They don't want to hear your lecture.
right,
They may want to know, okay, that is if they're in college, they will listen. But if it's a TEDx or an event where you're talking to people,
right,
your heart needs to reach out to their hearts. You need to have a heart soul connect. You
right,
need to have great ice breaking skills of how to connect with the audience from the first sentence you speak.
right,
It's the most important sentence. Your first 2 minutes decide everything.
right,
So the very fact that I'm invited to the third TEDx now is means I somewhere must be connecting with the people. So
right,
connect with the people, speak from your heart, don't over prepare. If
right,
you know your subject, if you know what you're going to talk about, you can talk about anything. If I tell you talk about the IPL, you'd say you can speak anything, right? You speak from your heart. This is my favorite subject.
right,
This team, you'll know everything. Same thing. In when you speak from your heart.
right,
Speak what you want to speak. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't
right,
copy somebody else's speech. Be yourself. Be original, guys,
right.
and put yourself in the shoes of the audience and say if you like what you hear, they will also like what you hear.
So how you do your preparation?
I don't prepare.
Oh, really? Like about any topic?
Never.
Great.
If you're sure about your topic, if you're sure about your subject, you don't have to prepare. You
Right,
already know the answers. It's a
right,
question of how you want to put it. And
right,
you put it in a very simple way. You don't complicate it. Make it simple for them to understand. Don't think that everybody is in it as much into technology as you are. Somebody else may not be. My wife is not.
right,
So if I have to explain to my wife a metaverse, I will not give her the metaverse stack, tech stack, and all that. I'll not tell her that. I'll just tell her what it is in simple words. It's a virtual world. Finish. That's all she needs to know. Keep it simple. Don't complicate. Don't show that you're a great power and knowledge guy. All right, you may be fine, but
right.
you should have to show that off, man.
When was the time you become nervous? Is there any time in your life then you where you become nervous? It was your first time on stage or anything like
Mm,
that?
Frankly speaking, I've never been nervous, so I cannot really relate to that because the first time I stepped onto a stage, it was one of the biggest events which had happened, and I was actually looking forward to it. So I never, maybe it's my personal wish. I mean, I never felt it. Some
Right.
people do, but as I said, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and don't see the audience for the first 30 seconds. Afterwards, keep seeing only the audience.
Right.
After keep seeing only the audience because you have to have eye contact with the audience. Get them with you. If you don't have eye contact, you will be a flat speaker.
Right. Tell our viewers about your first job.
Well, I'll keep it very nice and brief. My first job is with Tata Sons.
Okay.
Okay. I had got 4, 5 job offers. One was from Tata Sons, Tata Tea, Tata Shipping, and Taj Group of Hotels, all from
Okay.
Tata Company. So I joined Tata Sons. They put a typewriter in front of me saying, you have to type this. I said, I'm an MBA. I don't need to type. But they put the typewriter and gave me some work. By the end of the day, I had given my resignation. I typed my resignation letter and left it on the type. Okay. That was my first job. The next day, I joined the Taj Group of Hotels. So
Okay.
somebody told me in those days, why are you joining a hotel? Tata Sons, you left. I said, listen, guys, when you are wearing your shirt and trousers, I'll be wearing a tie, coat, blazer, and sitting in an AC office while you'll be sitting with a big fan over your head in Tata Sons. You'll be sitting with all the uncles and
Right.
aunties of Tata
True.
Sons, while I will be with all the young crowd and the best, most influential crowd of the world in a five-star hotel.
Right.
Third, and I mean, I'll also meet and network the most influential people out there.
Right.
While in a Tata Sons or something, or I'm not saying Tata Sons is bad. That time I'm talking.
Right.
You'll meet only your employees. What can you do with them? Make friends. That's all. There, I'll make connections, global connections.
Right.
And my finally, I mean, this was something which I don't say you should practice. My plan was at that time to marry a green card holder girl and go to USA. So that was my planning, but it didn't happen that way. But I made some very good connects there, and I went to USA with a sponsorship, and I stayed there for
Oh,
years before I decided to come back. It worked. My plan worked. So
okay.
that was my beginning, and
And
that's how I got
that
into
was your
technology.
first job.
Yep. My
And
first job was with Raj, and then of course I went to many other places. In '98, I quit all jobs and I started my own along with my 3 partners, and we still are there together. with India
Great,
Blockchain Alliance.
great, great. What is your mantra of success? How you see success?
I think it has been being humble, not letting success get to our head. And I'm fairly successful. And with 50 companies which you
Right,
advise, you tell you, wow, wow.
right,
So 50 is a number. The idea is to help out as many as people. Apart from that, one is humility, being humble, being empathetic. It all boils down to being a good leader once again. Everything boils down to lifting the people around us. Both my partners are not from the blockchain space, but today we lifted. I took them inside. I didn't say, oh, you don't know blockchain, don't be with me. We took them together. Today, all three of us have grown together.
right,
So never look down on people. I think, and never let it get to your head.
right,
Enjoy. You're the same person, whether
right,
it is 50 or 5 or 0 number of, you're the same
right.
person.
True.
Love people, be respectful of people, and enjoy your success.
Right,
It'll come. Give positive vibes.
right.
That's enjoyable.
It's important. How you initiate a conversation, because you told us about your experience about networking. How you initiate a conversation?
Well, at a conference when I'm speaking, that's a very easy thing for me because my name is Raj Kapoor. So I say Raj naam hai mera, naam to suna hi hoga. So that's my way of starting off my conversation. But yeah, at other places, I make sure I approach people who nobody else is approaching.
Okay.
That's my secret sauce is everybody's crowding around some people. Oh,
Right,
they're famous. They don't need more people. People who don't have the people, they need you more. So they will be the better conversations.
right,
So I normally approach that. I always never talk business unless I'm told to ask them. I
right,
ask about themselves, and everybody likes to tell them about themselves.
right,
Always ask the other person rather than say, I'm so and so and I'm doing this. Hey, good, let's have a cup of coffee together. Take them around, speak to them,
right.
speak their language.
Great way to initiate a conversation. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Panisha. Let me know if you need anything or anytime, and the
Yeah,
students
yeah,
want any
sure,
help.
sure.
I'm happy
Sure.
to help them. All right.
Thank you. Bye
Good luck.
bye.